My name is Yuhan, and for 3 years I lived as the hidden Omega of Zhao Yichen, the heir to Shanghai's most powerful political dynasty. On the surface, I was envied. Every night, black Maseratis lined the private drive of his villa on the Bund. Inside, crystal chandeliers lit the marble halls where business tycoons and politicians toasted Zhao Yichen's name. I was always there, silent, perfectly dressed, a decorative shadow at his side. Some called me lucky, others called me shameless, but none of them knew the truth. I wasn't free, I was kept. I told myself I could endure it, that as long as Zhao Yichen's protection shielded me, the rumors, the whispers, the shame wouldn't matter. But then fate mocked me. One winter morning, under the harsh lights of a private clinic, the doctor's words shattered me. Pregnant. I laughed at first. How could a man carry life? But the test results burned in my hands. My body had awakened into an omega, fusing into the cruel biology of the ABO world, and inside me, Zhao Yichen's child. That night, while he entertained foreign investors with wine and laughter, I stood alone on the villa balcony, wind biting my face, my hand pressed against the slight swell of my stomach. Fear wrapped around me tighter than the winter air. If he found out, would he protect me or cage me forever? So I ran. I faked my death with the help of my only friend, disappearing into the chaos of Shanghai. For years, I lived quietly in a cramped apartment above an old tea shop, raising my son Lian in secret. He was fragile, often sick, but he was mine, my reason to breathe. I thought I had escaped Zhao Yichen's world of glass towers and ruthless power. I thought I could build a life outside his shadow. Until that night, rain poured in silver sheets across the city. Leon burned with a fever that turned his little body into fire. I ran through the streets, clutching him to my chest, waving desperately at taxis that sped past. Neon lights blurred, horns blared, but no one stopped. His whimpers grew weaker, and panic clawed at my throat. Finally, headlights cut through the storm. A sleek black car slowed. Hope surged in me as I staggered into the road, nearly throwing myself in front of it. "Please!" I cried to the driver, my voice raw. "My son, he's sick. Take us to the hospital. I'll pay you anything." The driver hesitated. The rear window slid down with a smooth, expensive hum. And there he was, Zhao Yichen, leaning back in the leather seat, a cigarette between his fingers, smoke curling like a crown above his head. His gaze, sharp and unyielding, landed on me, then on the child in my arms. The world stopped. He should have believed I was dead. But now, under the neon rain, his eyes locked with mine, and something darker flickered there when they shifted to my son. The car sped through the storm, rain hammering against the glass like frantic fists. I clutched Leon close, whispering his name, willing him to hold on until we reached the hospital. But Zhao Yichen's voice cut through the hum of the engine. Low, cold, and sharp as a knife. "Yuhan," he said, tasting my name like venom. "You were supposed to be dead." My chest tightened. I didn't dare meet his gaze. "Please, not now. Just take us to the hospital. He's burning up." His hand moved. A flash of steel gleamed. The barrel of his gun pressed under my chin. "Whose child is that?" His tone was calm, too calm. The calm of a man who could order a death without raising his voice. Terror froze my blood. I shook my head frantically. He's mine! Just mine, please, he's sick. Zhao Yichen's eyes darkened. Mine. The single word was an iron verdict, crushing, undeniable. He leaned closer, smoke and rain clinging to him. You think you could run from me, fake your death, and raise my blood outside these walls? I opened my mouth, but no words came. His gaze dropped to Leon. The tiny boy curled against my chest, lips pale with fever. For a moment, something flickered in Zhao Yichen's eyes. Not softness, not mercy, but possession. The car screeched to a stop outside the private hospital. Doctors rushed forward as the driver pulled open the door. I tried to follow, but Zhao Yichen's hand clamped around my wrist like an iron shackle. You go with him later, he said smoothly, releasing me only when Leanne was carried inside. First, you come with me. I stumbled after him, dragged not into the emergency ward, but into the shadow of his world once more. The hospital's private wing was his domain. Polished marble, lacquered screens, guards standing silent like statues. He walked ahead, tall and commanding, while I trailed behind like a prisoner. In a secluded lounge, he sank into a leather armchair, crossing one leg casually over the other. His cigarette glowed in the dim light, smoke curling lazily as his gaze pinned me down. 3 years, he said softly. 3 years, and I mourned your ashes. Do you know what it felt like? To hold an urn and wonder if I should smash it against the wall or cradle it like a lover? I bit down hard, my nails digging into my palms. You don't understand. Then explain, he interrupted, his voice deceptively calm. Explain how my Omega disappeared and suddenly reappears with my son. The word Omega seared through me like fire. My shame, my secret, dragged into the open by the one man who had owned it from the start. I wanted to scream that I left because I was afraid, that I had run because I couldn't bear the thought of being seen as a monster, that every day away from him had been a battle between survival and love, but under his gaze, words turned to ash. His lips curled into a faint, dangerous smile. You lied to me once. You won't again. From tonight, you're back where you belong. The guards closed the doors. I realized with a cold, sinking dread that my escape was over. The next morning, the city's rumors spread faster than wildfire. The forgotten Omega has returned. He faked his death. He bore the Zhao heir, an illegitimate child. Everywhere I walked in Zhao Yichen's villa, I felt eyes on me. Servants whispering behind lacquered screens. Guards glancing with thinly veiled contempt. To them, I was scandal incarnate. When I was finally allowed to see Leon, he was sleeping peacefully in the hospital wing, fever broken. Relief softened my chest, but it didn't last. The door slammed open, and standing there was the one person I dreaded most. Li Wei, my elder brother. The golden son of the Li family, dressed in a tailored suit, his expression sharp with disdain. You! He spat, stepping closer, his voice a dagger. You shame us again. I froze, clutching the blanket around my son. Weiji, please. Do you understand what you've done? His words lashed like a whip. The court laughs at us. The business world whispers. The Zhao heir may shield you now, but when he grows tired of you, he'll cast you aside and we'll be left with the stain of your filth. His voice cut deep, sharper than Yichin's gun. For years I had endured being the invisible son. Now, even as a parent, I was still worthless in their eyes. Before I could answer, Zhao Yichen entered. He didn't storm, he glided in, his presence commanding enough to silence the room. His gaze flicked once at Li Wei, then pinned me. "What is this?" His voice was smooth, but dangerous. Li Wei bowed stiffly. "Your Highness Zhao, forgive my brother's foolishness. He will leave with me immediately." But Yichin's laughter cut him off. Low, cold, almost amused. "Leave? He belongs to me." The words echoed through the room, and for the first time in my life, my brother faltered. His face paled, lips pressed tight. As Yichin stepped closer to me, his hand landed on my shoulder, deceptively gentle but heavy with possession. "He gave me an heir," Yichin said, his tone final. "If you dare to call that shame, then it is I you shame, and I do not forgive." Li Wei's fury was silent, his jaw clenched as he bowed and left. But his parting glare carved itself into my chest. I knew he wouldn't forget this humiliation. That night the storm only worsened. Ministers whispered, tycoons mocked. My family raged in private, and me, I sat in Zhao Yichen's chambers, forced to face the truth. He didn't ask, he didn't beg, he simply commanded. "You will stay here. You will not step beyond these gates without my leave, and if you even think of running—" He paused, his hand brushing my cheek, his eyes burning like a storm. "I will remind you who you belong to." Fear knotted in my stomach. My brother's words echoed. The court's whispers gnawed at me. And the cruelest thought of all crept in. Perhaps they were right. Perhaps I didn't deserve this child, this protection, this unwanted love. When Yichin leaned in, his lips claiming mine with a hunger that left me breathless, I wanted to fight, to push him away. But my body betrayed me. Trembling, torn between fear and yearning, I kissed him back. And I hated myself for it. The palace villa buzzed like a hornet's nest. Every corridor whispered, every glance cut like a blade. To them, I was nothing more than a scandal, dragged in from the shadows. But Zhao Yichen never wavered. The final blow came during a private banquet with the city's most powerful families. Crystal chandeliers glittered, laughter filled the air, and I tried to melt into the background as I always had. Until Zhao Yichen rose, his glass rang once against the table, and silence fell. "You all whisper behind screens," he said, his voice slow, deliberate, carrying over the hall. "You call him a mistake, a shame, a shadow." His gaze swept the room, sharp as a blade. "But hear me well. The only shame here is your blindness." The hall trembled with shock as he extended his hand toward me. Heat rose in my face, my heart hammering as every eye turned. For a moment I froze. My brother's sneer flashed in my mind. The court's ridicule echoed in my ears. But Yichin didn't falter. His voice cut through my doubts. "He is mine. He is the father of my son. And from this night forward, if anyone dares insult him, they insult me." Gasps erupted, but no one dared speak. In that moment, I realized what it meant. He wasn't just protecting me, he was binding me to him in front of the entire world. That night, when the doors closed and silence returned, I stood before him trembling. "Why?" I whispered. "Why me?" I'm not beautiful. I'm not powerful. I'm not. His hand caught mine, pressing it flat against his chest. His heartbeat thundered steady and fierce beneath my palm. Because, he said, his voice low, almost raw, you are real. You are the only one who never reached for my crown, who never played games with my name. You ran from me even when it broke you. Do you think I could ever let that go? Tears blurred my vision. My lips trembled with words I had swallowed for years. I was afraid, I admitted. Afraid of being a monster. Afraid of you. He pulled me close, his forehead resting against mine. Then let me be the monster with you. Let me carry that fear until you believe you're not alone. And when his lips found mine again, I didn't resist. I kissed him back fully, desperately, surrendering not to chains, but to the truth I had denied for so long. I was his, and he, impossibly, terrifyingly, irrevocably, was mine. Later, as dawn lit the villa's rooftop, Leon's laughter echoed in the courtyard below. Yichin's hand rested on the small of my back, steady and warm. For the first time in my life, I did not feel invisible. I was seen, I was chosen, I was loved, and when Yichin whispered against my ear, "You are mine always," I knew. This time I wouldn't run.